Hola, bonjour, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only podcast where every single week we recap everything going on with the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. As always, I'm Evan Sawdey from Pop Matters.
I am Gregory Ellwood from the playlist, and you can also read me in the LA Times.
And it has been another busy week. For those who have been listening, we just barely wrapped up our coverage of UK Season 7. It just barely ended. We have Espana right around the corner. We're going to do a little bit of stuff for US Season 18. Don't you worry. There's going to be some stuff coming on down the line. But most critically, we're here with Canada out the gate with Season 6. So far, the reception has been immaculate. The reception has, I feel like everything that they wanted to have happen, everything they wanted to course correct with the season. We're only 2 episodes in. We're off to a very solid start so far, I will say. The other thing I will say is that in this House of Love, we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate, and we're American entertainment journalists, so we may not get every cultural reference and always appreciate corrections. And most critically, there are some truly great drag queens who aren't good at drag race, and we love them all the same. With that said, Greg, going into this, were you worried that that first episode, that acclaimed first episode, which according to the IMDb user ratings, which as we know are infallible and in no way biased whatsoever,
No
ranking
way.
the premiere of season 6 as the highest rated episode of the entirety of the Canada franchise, were you worried or concerned that it was just a fluke?
Um, I wasn't because I've heard such great things about the season, and then I saw the judging this episode, and I was like, I don't know. Now I'm a little worried. But the cast is amazing, and the everything else has been fantastic. Although the runway
Mhm.
this week was a little like, oh boy. But again, I love these queens, so I'm excited to see what keeps happening. And the storyline, this I will say, this cast has a ton of storylines that are not producer driven that are just happening all on their own. And I don't know if they just got insanely lucky with casting or if it's just they put them in a room together and magic has happened. But as a cast, it's you. I would love this to go for 16 episodes. Like
Mhm.
I wish this was as long as a regular US season.
I full 100% agree. It's already like stuff is just already iconic, including when they first walk into the workroom. And obviously, there is no one that went home, but they do see that as much as they're about to maybe celebrate Van Gogh's win for the week, they then someone quickly notices, "Hey, the Golden Beaver's over there. We should go and look at the Golden Beaver." Yes, 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 the Golden Beaver, our favorite cudgel for determining which of the winner gets to pick who of the bottom three gets to be saved from lip sync. It is back. It is lovely, but that still doesn't stop the drama, Greg.
But
No, no,
wait,
no.
what did the Golden Beaver say up on the mirror? Do you not remember?
Oh no, please.
It said, "Be a very afraid." Like bear like as bear like be a very afraid, get it?
Uh-huh.
It's so funny, right? Like, okay, anyway, I thought it was
Listen,
funny.
this is why they have the queens write their own
Oh,
material this
I'm sorry,
season.
it's beavery afraid, get it? Like beaver, like
Much better.
beavery afraid, beaver with a y afraid. I thought it was
That
cute.
beaver works 6 days a week, let me tell
It
you.
does.
But of course, listen, Greg, we're just sat down after that first lip sync. You know what that means? It's time for more drama because
Yes.
now Van Gogh has to go to say to Dulce, "I don't hate you." That's the thing, girl. I needed to let you know this. Now that I have a win under my belt, it's time for me to be vaguely congenial and let you know that it's not that I don't hate you. It's just that I don't know you. It's a very different thing. Uh, at some point, and I can't remember if it was a specific reference to this or something else, I have written down that Ebony at once says, "I'm sorry, that was so
But
corny, it was giving Caucasian."
but
Which
wait, I
is,
have to go back to that Van
yes,
Gogh comment.
please.
Because first of all, she says she doesn't hate Dulce, but there's literally a moment in the confessionals where she says she hates her.
Hmm.
And that was from last episode. And she says, I want to get to know her, even though they've done multiple gigs together for multiple, like literally, I think they said three, I think Dulce said last episode, like 3 years. Like,
Hmm.
but now she wants to get to know her. Like, this is the most fake, contrived, like, maybe I was being an asshole last episode, sort of like, I want to change my narrative. But you know what we realized this episode,
Mm.
Evan, is Van Gogh can't change her who she is. Like,
Nope.
nope, she can't. But please, what did Ebony say? Because I'm sure Ebony
Oh
was
yeah.
also hilarious.
I think Ebony was kind of talking about something along those lines, or at least talking about how what she would do in that position, and she said, "quote That was so corny, it was giving Caucasian." which is just an incredible line to say. Ebony already coming out the gate, just I'm deeply in love with and fascinated by. But I didn't have anything else from the drama because it does pick up immediately in the workroom the next day. Because all the girls come in and then they ask out like who was upset that they weren't on top, to which Star Doll says I was shocked I wasn't in the top, as was Maya Fox, and I'm like,
Oh, you're forgetting the most delusional of them
oh,
all.
I'm sorry, yes,
Hazel.
yes.
Hazel thought she should have been in the top and is also like like on her face is like just frustrated. Like she can't hide it. Girl, you have to stop projecting this. Like this is not good for you. Like this is not if you're on TV, you gotta hold it. Gotta like be poker faced. Um
Poker Face
and
was
also
canceled though.
I know it was. But who else thought they should have been in the top five that I missed?
Oh, I just had Stardoll and Maya Fox on top of Hazel, so
Oh
those are
yeah.
those are the only ones. But they were unafraid to get their thoughts and opinions out there. But already it's a good it's like the camaraderie is there. It may not always be the friendliest, but the camaraderie is definitely there. So yeah.
And I believe we get either in this moment or in the confessionals, Paolo says she wants to have sex with everyone there. And just, did I miss that?
That sounds pretty. Listen, I think we can always say that, much like Young Bella in the UK, Paula stopped being iconic challenge, impossible difficulty. She's just iconic at all times. It doesn't matter what she
Yeah.
does or says. She will always be the same. And
Yes.
that is just what she is. But Greg, the queens are then surprised, shocked, flummoxed, if you will, by someone entering the workroom that they weren't expecting.
No, it's the one and only Carson Kressley who arrives
Carson Kressley.
After Rue
Yeah.
has given a very sort of like mysterious sort of message about what the challenge could be. Because she says if you stay seasickening, you don't have something. I don't know. She did one of those
Yeah.
lines. But Carson is here, and we clearly realize the Queens had no idea Brad was not going to be part of this season.
Hmm.
And by the way, I'm not sure even production did until very close to production to it starting. And just a quick reminder, we've talked about this before, but you haven't listened to our episodes. Brad Goreski basically turned down the season because his number one client is Demi Moore, and they were shooting during the Oscars. And Demi Moore
Hmm.
was nominated for Best Actress, and this was his moment as a celebrity stylist, and he was not giving that up to spend 6 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever it is shooting in Toronto, even though he loves the show.
Hmm.
It does appear, though, is that the show is never going to explain why Brad is not there. And that
Nope.
feels a little uncomfortable. It feels like there may have been, I don't want to say bad blood, but it maybe a little
Brad
ruffled
blood.
Brad blood. I don't know if someone waited to the last minute to tell them or sort of sprung this on them, but thank God Carson is available. I enjoy Carson very much. I am happy to see him back on my screen, even if he's only going to be here for 3 or 4 episodes, mixing in with Hollywood Jade and oh, I forgot her name. She was a rotating judge last season too. Um,
Oh, Serene Fox?
Serene Fox, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see Carson. Are you happy to see Carson, Evan?
Weirdly enough, I am. I don't know what the energy or the vibe is within the Canada set right now, but it feels like everyone that's showing up there is having a good time. Like, we could talk about some of the judging later, but like Carson seems, I don't want to say more engaged than he has on the standard drag race, but he definitely, there's something about the newness there where he seems to really be embracing and happy to be there about it. So I don't know. I think especially during the when he started directing the challenge, I thought he seemed to be in a very good mood for that. Because also Carson's not usually the one directing any of these challenges
Mm-mm.
either. So I felt like they were
He's
really, yeah.
I think I've seen him with Michelle, and Michelle sort of acts as the judge, and he's like sort of bounces off her, but he rarely
Hmm.
judges. You're absolutely right. I will also say we find out they're writing commercials for their own cruise lines, and he tells them they're going to be in 3 groups of 4. And one of the things that I liked about Carson this episode, which I don't think the U.S. show has let him done, is he breaks the fourth wall a couple times because
Hmm.
the queens immediately get into groups, and he says, "Did you pre-pick these?" Like he wasn't expecting that, and he's sort of being off the cuff because he can because Rue isn't there, and I'm
Hmm.
excited about that in many ways. Um, so they pick the groups, and do you want me to go through what the groups are and what their challenges are, or
Sure.
do you have that? Okay.
Oh, I
The
have that too.
first
Yeah.
Yeah, the first group one, they will be singles at sea, or as Carson says, where Rose can find her Jack or Jane. And this group is Hazel, Paolo, PM, and Ebony. A group you would think, oh, that could be funny. They could do pretty well.
Yeah.
Group two are the self-care sisters who are channeling their spirituality as they set sail for the stars. This is Van Goth, Saltina Shaker, Sami Landri, and Velma. Which again, you're like comedians,
This is
off
a good
kilter
group.
queens. They should be a good group. And then the final group, they are doing the Golden Gaze, a cruise fit for the geriatric twink. And there are no twinks in this group. It is Star, Caramilk, Dulce, and Maya. Um, and I immediately am worried for them because they feel like the afterthought queens that no one wanted to be with, but they love each other and they're for it and whatever.
I'm more worried about their theme because, as we remember very distinctly, very clearly from All Stars 5, in which they tried to recreate the magic of Club 96 by having them do a challenge where, like, well, you're going to design a hotel room and show that off there. It was the Golden Gaze kind of similar thing that they got when it was Miss Cracker and Shay, and they all ended up being in the bottom because of it. It just felt like they were, like, not going to be in a good place. But then again, as season 15 proved, they love a good rapping granny moment. So who knows what's going to turn out in this wild connection.
Absolutely. And I also feel like I I feel like we if you have not watched the episode and you're just living vicariously through us, and you
Hmm.
should watch the episode. Full warning, these were not great skits. They were not great
No,
at
they were
all.
not.
They were pretty bad. But the queens get together and they start going through creating these because the one interesting thing is that's the only instruction they're given is that sort
Hmm.
of like one liner. They have to write these themselves. Like this is do your
Hmm.
own commercial, which was not exactly explained well at the beginning. Like that was what was actually going on. But they ended up sitting down and writing it, and oh boy, the drama with Van Goth and creating drama where there is no drama there is just the most insecure projection from them that I have seen in forever, or maybe since an Espana episode. But Evan, what did you think of this sort of weird, like storyboard conflict issue with Van Goth and Velma?
Well, if anyone remembers us doing talking about our Meet the Queens, one of the things that they really didn't talk about with Velma is that she is the person who directs, co-directs, and create works on the show that our previous season 3 winner of Canada's Drag Race does. Every single week, she is a director. This is what she does. She is very frequently doing this. So for her taking over the storyboard role, or to be like, let me be the one to filter out ideas or whatnot, that seemed very natural to me. This is unsurprising information. It was Van Gogh who's like, all my ideas are being shot down. She seems to be controlling or whatever. I mean, I don't know. She seemed to be pretty. She would seem to be really like careful about like we only have 30 minutes. We can only do X amount of costume changes. Like she's thinking about pure practical logistics in terms of how they're going to pull this off. Like it
Yeah.
didn't seem crazy to me. Like sure, there might be a little bit of ego there. There might be. It never it feels good when you have an idea that gets shot down. But like felt, I don't know, seemed like someone who was professional at their job being professional. That's what I thought, Greg, personally.
Listen, I'm sure they had multiple hours, 90 minutes or something to write these
Uh-huh.
all out or whatever, and we're only seeing a tiny cut of it. She seemed insanely passive. She seemed like an AD just taking notes. Like
Hmm.
I was like I did not understand Van Gogh's reaction to this at all. And also it just also tells me that Van Gogh has no sense of how they appear on television or how they appear to other people and how that could affect their edit, which for someone who is a mature adult, they and has had friends on this show, you would think they would have been more cognizant about before they went on. But maybe they think that this is how you get screen time. I don't know. I was a little put off by it, to be honest. But that was just
Yeah.
me.
Well,
Um,
don't worry. If you were put off by that, there's going to be a lot of other opportunities for you to be put off by Van Gogh this episode. Don't worry.
oh yeah.
But in the other groups, while that's happening, it's Caramilk who, at this time, when talking, yeah, she finds out that when she turned 18, she was at one of her shows, and then someone approached her and said, "I'm your actual father, I think." And then she does a DNA test and proves to be true. And that her super religious family who took her in, they were not her birth parents as she'd previously thought, which was a wild thing to deal with and reconcile and handle. And also her dad also used to do drag too, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
That was the whole narrative and story in and of itself. But meanwhile, in the other group, the Self Care Sisters, in the Singles at Sea group, they start talking about, hey, we're going to do all these singles events, and it just turns into a pure sex party. And it's Hazel who's the one who's voicing out, I think the gooning room is one step too far. Uh,
I Hazel is giving conservative Alexis Michelle to me. Like she's giving like 6'2" conservative Alexis Michelle saying, I don't know if we really should be doing this. She's giving a Blair St. Clair clutching pearls as like a young
uh-huh.
season of I was a little like, are you serious, girl? Like, I don't know. What did you think of Hazel's sort of reaction to all this?
I here's the one thing I will say is that they were given the idea singles at sea, and if it's just pure sex, that is one element of it. But it is, you know, I think a lot of it comes down to writing, and I think a lot of it comes down to performances as well.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, by the time that we get into the actual set itself, holy moly, it is a whole different thing. Because we start off with the Self Care Sisters, and it is Van Gogh and Velma just at each other's throats. Carson's asking the question, all right, who did a lot of the writing or whatnot? And then Velma's like, I did a lot of the writing because she did. She wrote down a lot of the ideas over there. Van Gogh said it's her basically trying to take credit for everything they do. And throughout the entirety of filming, during this and other segments, Greg, it boils over. She can't not
I
talk about it. It's a whole thing.
And also,
My
Van Gogh makes
God.
it clear she wrote down everyone's ideas. She didn't
Uh-huh.
come up, and she doesn't, she's like, what is going on? Like, and part of it is she eventually says that, her English it's not her first language. She's French
Hmm.
Canadian, and that maybe things are getting lost in translation. Van Gogh, you're Canadian. You live in Toronto. You deal with many Quebecois people all the time. Like this should not be new to you.
Hmm.
Wild. I just didn't get
It's
it.
ac And actually, I'll give credit because this kind of boils over a little bit. I'll give credit to Dulce as well, who like in the workroom the next day. We're jumping ahead a little bit. In the workroom the
Yeah.
next day is like I know that thing where you have to think about it in one language first before you translate it to the other. Like I know how there's always that like it's a hard thing to do and must do it quickly. And like I thought was so sympathetic because Dulce said like they never learned English in the first place. Like that was their second language completely. So again, there's a weird sense of like as much as there's these tiffs and pushbacks and unity, it's very interesting. I will also
It,
say that as they were doing the segment, holy fuck, I can't understand a single goddamn thing Paolo is saying the entire time at all. She's doing a voice like this for almost all of it. And it's just words are just you're not getting hard consonants at any point. It is a trip, baby. It is a trip.
so we're sort of skipping ahead here, but
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Paolo put up a YouTube video yesterday
Oh.
where she was doing her makeup, where she was talking about this whole episode for 45 minutes. By the way, the video is wild. If you think she's wild and like she's turned, she like the doorbell rings, she gets up, she like answers the door, she like pauses it so many times while she's doing this makeup video. But she talked about the episode and how surprised she was. And by the way, she also does not come across delusional like when she's just talking as herself. She's very well aware. And but she now like she's so, by the way, well, I don't want to get ahead, but the point I was going to make is while she was recording this, she said the girls were really laughing. And
Hmm.
they all told her that they thought she was really funny. So eventually she is going to be super surprised by the critiques because she did not see this coming at all. And
Hmm.
which I thought was I actually thought also this could have been edited to be funnier than it was. And I
Hmm.
also thought Sami Landri's performance was very funny, and I did not understand the eventual judging on that. But what I do want to say is that Sammy is hilarious while watching the other the other queens do their commercials. She's literally sitting, if you can watch on video, in man like wide legged like stance like in drag. It's I thought it was hilarious. I think it's just them being themselves, but
Hmm.
I was impressed. It was yeah, her spread eagle sitting stance. Um, but was there anything else from this group that you took away? I thought they were all going to be in the bottom. I was like sort of shocked.
Not really. No, no, I will say no.
What about the second group with PM and uh um Paolo? Oh no, PM was in this group. Oh my God, I'm getting the order wrong. Oh, that's why Sammy was watching it because they were watching the first group. Okay. So they
Yes,
hadn't
yes,
even
yes,
done it yet.
yes.
We're getting out of our orders here. Apologies. Um, what do you, we should just say in general, what did you think of any of the performances? Did any of them pop to you? Did any of them not pop to you?
My favorite group was the Golden Gaze one, if I'm being so real with you, Greg. Like I thought it was so funny. I thought Dulce and Caramilk when they're leading the group of just like we're gonna help all these old white gays help out there. Their SOS thing was funny. I did not think the Self Care Sisters was good at all. I did not laugh a single time. I hated Saltina's whole cult thing. It was so one note. And again, the singles at sea thing, the only thing that was good was their commitment to the bit. PM's gonna go all fucking out every fucking time, and I think that's dope. But like, yeah, it was a mixed bag for me. Of the groups, the Golden Gaze was the best one, at least from what we saw from rehearsal.
I agree, and they had Dulcie saying earlier in the day in her confessionals that she was really worried about doing this, that she wasn't really an
Hmm.
actress, and she showed she's one of those queens that is just charismatic enough. This is the sort of challenge she can just breeze through, and I thought she really impressed. I was very happy for her that she got through this
Absolutely.
when it seemed like her peers didn't think that she could, and that's what
Hmm.
was most important.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Also, what was really interesting is they had a confessional where Saltina said she was having, or maybe they'd come back into the workroom. She was having problems remembering her lines. Saltina seems super self-aware and like overthinking everything, which is not what I would think for a queen that has 700,000 followers and is great on social media. It's a little surprising. There's an insecurity in her that she's displaying on the show that I was not expecting.
I get the sense that she might actually be smart about it because I think she understands that with television, you cannot have a bland narrative of I'm great at everything, I'm great, I won. You have to have ups and downs. You have to have moments of doubt. You have to have things people root behind you for. And the thing is that like I talk to enough people who are like social media creators or people who are like
Yeah,
only
yeah.
TikTok streamers or whatnot. And like that self-sabotage, your inner saboteur, whatever you want to call it, that is common. And you would be surprised by some of the people that have like tens of thousands, if not
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of followers, still go through that. It does not matter on there. So for me, it's the kind of thing where as much as I want to say that, like, I actually understand Saltina in this moment, I actually think that she's playing it smart. I think she's doing the thing. I think it was our favorite All Stars 4 winner, who is not Monet Exchange.
Trinity the Tuck.
Trinity the Tuck, when she talked about how, like, they wanted me to come out here and be like, you're not funny. And then I discovered I'm funny. Before I even filmed season 9, I knew I was funny. Like I kind of knew that, but I also understood that the producers needed something to work with, so I was happy to play
Mm.
that part. Like it's for me, it's the thing where it's like Saltina strikes me as someone who's smart enough that she would be able to do it. The question is like, as much as I do think she is kind of playing on this role a little bit, I also feel like so far, and this just might be a little bit too early on, and we're getting into a little bit of the weeds here. She's not really lovable. Like she's smart, she's likable enough, but I'm not getting a through line or a narrative to her as of yet. And most importantly, looking at all of her drag looks so far, I don't know who she is as a drag queen, if I'm being so
Yeah.
real. I feel like so many other queens have distinctive lanes or identities that they've already carved out for themselves. So I get the sense that Saltina has money and she's willing to able to buy expensive things, but I don't get who she is as a drag artist. At least so far. We're only episode 2. There's so much more runway to go.
I agree with you. The queen. So after recording these, the queens come in the next day,
Hmm.
and they're at the table, and the tension is strong. And they Van Gogh is going through her frustrations with Velma and like explaining it, and Kara Milk has to interrupt all of them and say, "Are you guys gonna let Velma speak?" Like I am just like, first of all, you have the one cis woman queen here, and you're like railroading her. Like, what is going on? Like, I I don't understand how Van is going to come back from this edit. Like, this is very interesting to me. Like, if she's gonna stick around for a long time and she's seen as a front runner after winning last week, I'm curious what the comeuppance or her arc will be in the episodes to come.
Yeah. I truly at this point I absolutely do not know. Um
And when you have Paolo in confessional saying that Van Gogh has some healing to do, like that, it's like, whoa. You've got Paolo saying this, who has only shown herself to be like the ditzy queen the whole time, and she's the voice of reason. Like, I'm so curious what Van Gogh thought about this whole episode when she finally watched it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right? Um,
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if they're getting ready, but we hear a bunch of a number of stories about the Queens. PM asks for the producers and says, "Is anyone missing family or friends?" Evan, they've been there for 4 days. 4 days. And Hazel starts crying about her dad. And I'm like, get that screen time, girl. Like, it's only
Hmm.
4 days and you're already missing your dad. Like, I love that you love him. I'm sure there's been days in your life where you haven't seen him for 2 weeks. Anyway, what did you think about any of these stories? And were there any other ones that popped to you?
Well, Velma's story is probably one of the more interesting ones because she does an interesting pivot where she talks about not necessarily missing friends or family, but just dealing with family because she noticed that her
Mm-hmm.
mom was an alcoholic and was very abusive, and I think a lot of queens relate to that. But it's actually Dulce who actually has, I think, one of the more compelling stories when they talks about being in a purely abusive household where everything they did, missing the bus, leaving something in the oven too long, whatever, would result in them being beaten in some way or another, and how they fully emancipated themselves from their parents at age 16. And so it was kind of echoing a little bit back to Lexi Love from the season prior of just like, for some of y'all, you do this for fun. I do this to live. And I thought that was just a very interesting contrast in terms of what they're able to do. But those are the main takeaways I had from that segment.
Yeah, she literally says, anything that I have is because I did it. It's because I
Mm,
made it. And that was thought it was a very powerful sort of moment. I thought it was also super genuine. This did not feel like she was hunting for screen time, and
100%.
I really liked it. But the Queens eventually come, or they're going to be heading to the stage, and out comes the one and only Brooklyn Heights, giving Scarlet Boo Boo
That's
uh,
cool.
meets I believe her name is Riley now. I'm forgetting her name. She's part of the House of Avalon, but with the tattoos,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen her at Precinct 20 million times. She was a terrible host. At Precinct. So bad. Great performer, terrible host of a show. But
It's a
she's
skill all
giving,
in and of itself.
but
Yes.
like Brooklyn's like, I'm just going wild this season. She's got fake tattoos all over her. She looks like she's a punk girl. What did you think of
It's
this look?
so great. It's so great because the thing is that we don't really see stuff like this. We actually genuinely we don't see the host like commit this hard to like a neck butterfly fake tattoo for their
Yeah.
look. And it works. Like it's the thing where it's just like she just feels so in charge, and again, it just gives that energy the season this whole energy of like just joy of just excitement. And also I'll credit is where credit is. Tracy Melshore, she's looking pretty good in her leopard print.
Yeah, she
I
looks
will
great.
also I just actually briefly want to pivot real quick too, because it's my
Sure.
husband who pointed this out to me. He watched. He's really excited about Heated Rivalry, the hot new
Mm-hmm.
gay hot show on HBO Max, which he watched a couple episodes of and just informed me it's not a television show. It's just well-made porn, which is hey, I love it. It's number two on the HBO rankings
It's
right now
killing
for
it. It's
good
a
reason.
huge, it's a
It's doing
hit.
great. But he was scrolling through his YouTube shorts and he came across a clip of like the stars of the show being interviewed by Tracy Melshore, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the room, like the stars, were just aghast by how good and insightful her questions were. Like she was just so natural. She had such an incredible flow. Like she was just absolutely in her element. And it was just like, where the fuck is this? He was truly just like, where the fuck is this person on Canada's Drag Race? Because like people, we've known her as to being a television interview professional like ourselves, and like that's been a known fact about her. But all we see from her on Drag Race is this put upon voice message style reaction to everything. Isn't that right? Like there's a couple moments when she gets so real. I will always remember the season 4 makeover challenge or makeup challenge that they had when she gave like amazing advice to Bombay and Fierce Delicious and a whole bunch of people. That was
Mm-hmm.
season 3, sorry. Like she can give good advice. There's a time when she got super emotional over a Jada Shada Hudson runway and talked about the black experience and how much it means to her. Like shit are times when her real personality comes through, and then there's just the rest of the time. And it's just like the thing where it was just a nice reminder to be like, Tracy Melchor has so many talents outside of this, but she just has this put upon persona when she's on that judging panel that's sometimes so hard to like crack open and get into. I don't know. I thought it was just an interesting little
Well,
pivot.
I do want to say you beat me to this because I was going to bring
Oh.
this up. Your husband and I
Oh.
have the same algorithm clearly because I also saw the videos. Also, that interview is being cut up and is all over social media. So it's one of the one really long interviews those two have done together because I think it's like 30 minutes or 20. It's not
Hmm.
like super short. So there's like bits that are being cut out where she's asking them questions, and it's mostly on them. But I was like, the first time I saw a clip on Threads, I was like, wait, is that Tracy? And I was like, it's E-Talk, and I'm like, yes. So she is great at, but also that's her day job, and she's not
Right.
being like told what to do. You are absolutely right. There's something so far this season where she seems very like I want to say fake, like really like over the top, like in what her like bad puns are and everything. And I'm hoping it gets better as the season goes on. But I don't. It's really weird. I feel like, the show has won so many Canadian Emmys. And I
Hmm.
feel like when the producer tells you, like, let's do what we always like, you don't want to you feel like I have to do this. She feels like she has to be in this mold of this like Michelle Visage sort of like,
Hmm.
puns and like, being like, as clean as she can with everything she does and maybe like not being as grounded as she can as a normal person. So we're probably spending way too much time about Tracy, but you are absolutely right. And again, I have not watched the show yet because I'm 20 million, I'm behind on so many shows. But my friends seem to very much enjoy it. And if it is hyped up porn, great. I'm all for
Love
it.
it. Need
Listen,
need
we
more of
need
it.
we need more gay content on major streamers.
We need to get content. We don't need to keep it in the shadows.
Actually, Evan, let's talk about this runway because I have to say, when the first outfit came out, which was Van Gogh, I was like, this is like I've seen this teddy bear club look what
Mm.
3 or 4 times already. We've seen it so many times. It's like whatever. I mean, it's fine. But in hindsight, it was actually quite good because the
It's
rest of this
quite good.
runway
I'm not
was
gonna
not great.
lie. It like this was quality. I think the replacement of the second half was a little awkward, but like the idea, the
Yeah,
concept, the patchwork, like all of it was just so well done. It was still tittied, it was still drag. Like yeah, again, I can not love Van Gogh as much as she loves me, but I will say that overall, this is a super solid look, genuinely.
but again, we need any future queens on any future season. No more of this, please. We do not need the teddy bear like in drag look anymore.
Yeah,
This has happened a couple times. Up next was Saltina Shaker, and wow, my reaction to this dress was not what the judging panel was.
girl.
This was
Again,
her a car accident, a dress that was inspired by a car accident she had. I love the sentiment of it. I totally understand her having scars and the feeling of scars, especially when you're young, like making you feel like you're unattractive and that people will judge you, like especially as a teenager. But this was just a basic white dress with like red stones on it. I thought this was a boot. Like I was not impressed with this at all.
yeah,
What did you think?
I'll be the one to say it. This was bad. This is bad, genuinely. And the thing is that like the whole idea of like again, it's in the shadows, it's demonic, it's evil or whatever, things like that. Yes, you're kind of pulling yourself out of the shadows, but for me, this kind of feels like again, kind of the issue I have with Saltina at this point, where it's just a lot of it feels performative.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like all of these little scars that are on my chest kind of represent the real scars that I have that I used to be ashamed of and now I'm ready to show off, which I say as I don't show them off. Like it's the thing where it's just like I felt like there may have been a way where if she wanted to find a way to actually highlight them for real, she could. Instead, there's this performative aspect to it that just feels like again, I'm not denying the power of her story or her personal experience, but it feels like such a safe bet. It's like fake vulnerability. Like, okay, cool, this thing here that you don't want to go into too many details about. Okay, great. Like I don't know, the whole thing just doesn't read as genuine to me, and I think this might be a problem I have with their drag for a lot of the season because I have a feeling she'll be here for a lot of the season, but it is the kind of thing where it's like I want to see the real her, and I just keep getting this performative artifice, which is the safe version she feels comfortable with, but not the real her. So yeah.
I agree. Sami Landri is up next. She is doing her outfit is basically she describes it as a bunny hit a deer on the highway. That's literally how she explains it. There's rhinestones, or I'm sorry, or it's a deer hit by a car, but she says a bunny hit a deer. I don't know why I wrote that down. And I don't know if she says this or one of the judges say, these gays are trying to roadkill me, which I thought was a funny.
Yep.
Maybe that was Brooke. Um, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it was god awful. What did you think?
I don't think it hit the prompt at all, but it was stupid and I enjoyed it. Like this insane stupid mask with these giant lips on here. Like it was, I don't know, it was like barely put together for the prompt. This may have even been drag closet, but it's so stupid. I can't deny how much I enjoyed it for real.
Up next was Velma Jones as Johnny for the first time as
Hmm.
Johnny Jones, and I loved this werewolf look. This was so effing good. This was fantastic. Just didn't it was drag. Didn't seem costume, and the details were utterly incredible. What did you think about it?
Absolutely agreed the same. Like the thing I love is that I remember, the last time that we truly had a cis woman doing a drag queen look was actually in UK or sorry Canada versus the World season one. When we brought back our Victoria Scone, and she did a kind of a Fabio-ish kind of male drag look, and it was really good. But the thing is that you can tell Velma is a pro because this mug that she's giving, this
Yeah.
is drag king. This is purely drag queen. It is exaggerated. It's exactly what I having just watched King of Drag, which is still one of my television surprises this year. This is so in code. She knows exactly what she's doing. Absolutely aced it. Just incredible. Love her so much.
Totally agree. Up next was Star Doll, and she's doing a mythological Filipino look. I forgot how what the reference was. Um,
Hmm.
I sort of loved it. I thought it was really good. Although the heels were like sort of funny and like a distraction. But also I didn't expect this from her. Like this was a nice little pivot. I thought she showed range with this. What did you think?
I agreed the same. The little toe claws going on over the heel, but it's still just a standard like still regular heel was
Yeah, this
great.
is a black
The,
yeah pump.
Yeah. The biggest issue for me was that like the wings felt a little bit crafty. I can't get over that. I'm
Mm,
so sorry. Like it's just like this black arca thing and then just fabric. And then the color of her mug versus the color of the rest of her outfit, there was just a slight delineation between them. Like her mug was slightly darker. It's such a minor complaint overall. It was overall a very good look and it was a nice pivot
yeah,
for her. The only problem is that there are some looks that are in a similar vein later that just blow her out of the fucking water. That's all I will
that is
say.
true.
Hmm.
Up next was Dulce, and I'm going to get the reference wrong. I think she called it La Llorona, like or
I think it's La Llorona. Yeah.
La Llorona, which is a Mexican legend about a woman who had to kill her kids on her wedding day, as she explains it. And I thought it was okay. She has black blood coming out of her eyes, which are supposed to be tears or mascara. I'm like a little confused. It worked, but it also like felt like it was in the wrong place. Like it wasn't really under her eye. It was like on her cheek. Um, I'm not sure we'd know what the story was if she wasn't explaining it in the voiceover. And she does sort of get criticized for that later on. What did you think of this look?
I honestly did not like this, if I'm being so real with you right now. I think that they got Brooklyn later kind of, I think, criticized it for their like, okay, if this is your wedding day look, it needs to read wedding dress, which it does not at all. And I think there was that. And also this whole prop of like the eyes are crying. Well, when you have this little like tube that's going up to your eye and we can actually see the black stuff being pumped through it over there, I don't think that's necessarily a good look. That's just like it's there. I can see the thing going through the tube. You can't cover that up with tape. You can't cover that up with anything else. It just felt very the idea, the heart was in the right place. I just think the execution was deeply flawed.
Oh, I don't know if I would have said uh, okay. I I thought I liked it a bit more than you, but I totally respect the opinion.
Mhm.
Maya Fox was up next, and she describes it as doing the demon behind the mirror, and oh boy,
What the
this was
fuck are we talking?
basic as fuck. This was this was I
Drag
am not kidding you.
closet.
This is I am in a weekly drag competition in my hometown, and they told me what the prompt was the day before, and I took the mirror off the wall, and I said I'm going to put some demon make. I just this was
But Greg,
bad.
it's all under a veil.
And also, it's not, she thinks it's finesse. She says like that in her, and I'm like, nope, nope. Just
I
basic.
don't think Maya's long for this competition, if I'm being so real with you, Greg.
I
I
don't
gotta
either.
be honest.
But someone who better belong for this competition, Cara Milk is up next.
Jesus
And
fucking Christ.
this costume bat was incredible. Like,
Fuck
uh,
off. Fuck
uh,
off.
it is a little costumey, but I loved the polish. The polish
It's
was great.
so good. It's so good. Those wings have such intense detail on them. Like you see the veining of it, like all of it is just absolutely incredible. Like, yeah, it moves a little bit on the more performative costumey side, sure. Fuck me, it was so good.
Yeah.
I could not get over this level of polish. The fact that she even decided to bring this to the show at all is a testament to her ability and powers too. Just shocking, just so goddamn good.
So good. Paolo Perfección is up next, and she is wearing a trash bag, which, by the way, fits she said in a video, this fits the prompt because it's in the shadows, like in the alley in the shadows, there'd be trash bags. And she just realized no one else would do this. And she also said she had friends who'd always told her because her makeup was so good, she'd look good in a trash bag. So she decided, why not? And I actually thought it was genius. I thought it was super smart ingenious, and I thought it looked good. And as she walked across the stage, things started falling out of the trash bag, including a baby.
And they were all rhinestone. They all had a P on there, like everything, even the
I,
discarded coffee cups, like all of it was.
I, how is this girl in the bottom? Like this
It's
should be
it,
safe.
it's garbage. It is actual literal garbage. But at the
Yes.
same time, she just can't stop being iconic. She just is unable to at all times of day. Just pure iconic. Yes, of course she wore a fucking literal trash bag on this runway of like it's terrible. It's amazing. It's terrible.
I loved it. It was so good. Next was Hazel, and she's doing this witchy look that she says is inspired by her Scottish roots. I thought it was good. I didn't think the makeup was great. I thought her mug was a little too minimal for what she was doing. What did you think about it?
I thought it was great. I thought the level of detail, yeah, because it's the kind of thing where like it was very similar to Dulce's look in terms of like it's all like dark ink dried and like dried blood kind of aesthetic over there. But the way that there was all this loose fabric, the way that there was just like all these little details in there, it still felt it came from a very specific POV. It felt very it's such a good perspective. I don't know. I liked the look. I thought it was pretty solid.
Up next was Ebony, and I thought this was some basic Halloween shit.
Thank
Like
you, thank
this
you, thank
was
you.
not even good Halloween. And she sort of like admits it like in her like voiceover while it's going. Like
Mhm.
she I did not think this was good at all, and I would have potentially had her in the bottom for this. Like this was bad.
Yeah, I would say this is definitively not good. And the fact is the kind of thing where, like, whenever you have any sort of bodysuit underneath and you have a dress, even if it's sheer, but you still have the slit open enough that I can still see the panties, like that's just not good. I like
Yeah.
unless you were explicitly designed it to show the crotch, I shouldn't be seeing the crotch. And this is dress did not fit that prompt. It was really disappointing, if I'm being so real.
Totally agree.
Mhm.
And last but not least is PM, and she is doing a paralysis nightmare. That's the inspiration. I thought it was good and scary. And she also says during her voiceover, not all nightmares need to be ugly, which my reaction is, well, sure. Like I don't really get that take, but okay. But I thought it was pretty good. What did you think?
I thought it was spectacular. I thought it was so fucking just inspired. The way there was all this black rufflers that came up and then lightly
Yeah.
faded into the kind of the faded white iteration of it, the long fingers, all of it. It gave nightmare, but weirdly cuddly. All of it. It was just so well thought out. It was definitely it was one of the top tier looks for me, just out the gate. Just like it was. We had some good looks on a like pretty average runway, but like I thought this was one of the best ones. Yeah.
I do have to say she posted some photos from a photo shoot she did of it, which aren't like that airbrushed, but she did them outside in like a forest, and
Hmm.
it looks fantastic. It looks great. I will say this probably did not pop for me because once again, those Canadian
Hmm.
lighting, like I don't understand. Actually, the next time I ever talk to Brooke, I just have to be, girl, can we please fix those lights? Like, please, like those fluorescent lights, whatever's going on there, it's just wild. But anyway, the queens all come out on stage, and Brooklyn jokes "Happy Halloween" to all of them, which was a slight read, but also true. Um, and we watch the commercials. Evan, what was your take on these commercials?
I think I wrote down very simple words. This is the one with the singles one with all the sex talk. It was fine. The Serenity at Sea, literally zero laughs the entire time. Golden Girls, the best one by far. Like it was pretty
Yes.
clear cut for me. Which makes the eventual judging all the wilder, let me tell you.
And Evan, I have one quick question. Why out of all what, 12 queens we have left? I think 12 queens, 13,
Yeah.
12 queens. Why does Paolo not have an image on her green screen behind her? What, not one. Why did the editors not put an image there? Everyone else has a background except for her. Like they didn't even put in a C background. Like there's no way that they wouldn't have said, "Oh, and then for when Paolo comes out, put this."
Hmm.
I felt like they were trying to force her into the bottom. Like that was my
Right.
take. I was like, this was like I was like, I'm not saying production riggery, but they clearly did not want her past this episode, and I feel like they made a horrible mistake. Um, also, oh, I have so many thoughts. Um, also, Caramilk, and I noticed this while they were filming. She has so much green in her mug when she shot it against a green screen that,
Hmm.
girl, what are you doing? Like, I would have potentially put her in the bottom just for that. Like, just how could she not be cognizant that they were going on a green screen and you need to make sure your mug doesn't like pull the video image into it? Like, oh, that's bad. Anyway, Evan, our safe queens are Stardoll, Maya, Ebony, PM, Caramilk, and I wrote, did her look save her? Like from being in the bottom. Van Goth, all safe. And the rest are tops or bottoms. I, okay. Like, did you disagree with these saves?
Just out, all of it. I genuinely, I don't know. I thought Caramilk did better in the challenge than the judges thought she was. I thought the
I
look alone should have put her up much higher for one. I do not, in my personal opinion, I do not think Saltina Shaker should have been in this category at all. I shouldn't do not think she should have been top. I think she should have been safe, if anything. If you're gonna talk based on performance on runway, fuck, put PM up there. I thought she did a better job over
yeah,
there. If I'm being so real,
agreed.
I think Velma did fine. I'm not sure if I would have called her out as one of the top three of the week, but sure, I'm not necessarily mad about it. Dulce made sense to me.
Still say maybe if her runway was a little better, she would have been the slam dunk winner. But we
Hmm.
do find out who the winner of the week is, and in a shock, it's Saltina. And I hope they talk about this when the queens come into the workroom next week, because I am still shocked she won. Like I'm not a
Yeah,
hater on Saltina. I want her to do well, but this felt like the most production riggery in I've seen a Canadian episode in quite a while. Like this did not make sense to me.
it didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. My favorite detail out of all of this, though, was the fact that she won $5,000 cash courtesy of Travel Manitoba, and in the edit for the episode, they fuck up the logo. I'm not sure. I just literally sent you an email with a screenshot of what actually happens during that moment because during that moment, they go ahead, they're just like, you just won $5,000 courtesy of Travel Manitoba. And then they actually put the logo up on screen, except it is blown up so hard that you can't see the logo. And I was like, clearly they're going to change this, right? Clearly they know something's fucked up in the edit, right? And I was incorrect because I checked just now and it is still there. This insane, weirdly blown up image of the bottom of the logo. Go ahead, Greg.
What's so crazy is I was going to bring this up earlier is when uh Caramel, was it Caramel or Ebony talking about meeting their dad? Oh, Caramel talking about
Mhm.
meeting their dad, who they'd never known before. They had photos of them
Right.
and they cut off the top of their head because they were zoomed in too much. And I was like, and just so everyone is aware, Evan and I get screener. We were lucky enough to
Hmm.
sometimes get screeners and watch it before, and I was like, what is going? Why? I thought it was just a mistake in the edit we had. But or I was like, is there something I was watching on a desktop? I'm like, is it just, did it zoom in or something? No, it's just bizarre. Like,
It's
what happened
bizarre.
with the edit? Like,
I have no
so
idea.
weird.
We win $5,000 from Travel Manitoba, but it's so zoomed in, all I can see is the NIT of Nitoba. Like it's so insane. It is actually like it's such a small technical thing, but it kind of speaks to the larger thing of like, man, what great queens, what great challenges on here. Are you okay, technical team? Are you all right? Do you need a
I
break? Like
I
it's
know
so
I
odd.
it is it is crazy. Yeah, that was I'm
The
glad it wasn't just me. I was like so
yeah.
confused.
The
But
one thing I'll say about
anyway,
the critiques, real quick,
please.
is that at one point they talk about, I think it was during Hazel's thing where she talked about she like, I wish I had more time to do things out there, and it's like I think Carson gives the critique, give yourself more time so we can give you more credit, which I thought was actually a great line because they felt like I only got to do this one thing. Okay, well you're the one who wrote it, so give yourself more opportunities so we can actually acknowledge you. I thought that was actually a really good critique. So yeah.
Oh, that's really good. The bottom three, I don't understand this, are Sammy, Hazel probably should have been low. But Sammy I thought was funny. I don't understand why she's in the bottom. I don't know if she will ever understand why she's in the bottom. I thought Paolo, they was funny and they just wanted her to go home. But so it's Sammy, Hazel, and Paolo. And we discovered because, as we know, the Golden Beaver has returned. Saltina, as the winner of this week's challenge, has the power of the Golden Beaver to save one queen. So they go back to the workroom, and Paolo races off the stage. Not like in an angry way, but in a like hilarious way.
Mhm.
And Carson jokes, she can't wait to get out of here, which is a little foretelling. Um, what did you think about the conversations in the workroom, Evan?
It's weird, because I ultimately the biggest thing was just more than anything else, it was just Paolo basically giving up. Like that was the part that I didn't really understand because effectively during this segment, she kind of talks about how just like, I feel like there are other people who deserve things more, and like again, they're all getting so emotional over these things that are happening because this is obviously the first real week. This is the first time
Yeah.
where someone can actually go home. So I do understand certainly a bit of that, but it definitely felt weird because I'm like Paolo. I don't think Paolo understood how she's being received because she's being received as iconic, and so I felt like if she had known even some of that little bit, or just had that sense of how she was going to be received on TV, that may have been one thing. But instead, she was like kind of almost giving the store away. So I don't know. It was a little disappointing to see that.
I don't know. I actually wrote that she said she didn't feel like she was ready to go and that she had started feeling the sisterhood here. I didn't think she had quit. I just feel
Mm.
like she was sort of taking in everything that was going around and she wasn't sort of being super performative, like being overly emotional. I think Hazel was like overly emotional, if I'm
Hmm.
incorrect.
That also
Um,
was true. Yeah.
the other thing I was going to say too is both Van Gogh and Ebony were legit shocked that Saltina won. Ebony even said she didn't even think Saltina would be in the top. Like, and I wrote, yes, like,
Yes.
agreed. Like, so they're also wondering what is going on with this judging. Um, Kara, it, I would have had Sammy safe. People don't understand why Sammy's in the bottom either. Um, my other take from all of this was like Caramel should have been in the bottom. Like I loved
Yeah.
that outfit, but like she was bad in it. Hazel's very emotional, and then you're right. Paolo does have an emotional breakdown. I forgot that, but Hazel's the one
Yeah.
giving tears, like performative tears. Um, but I mean, they plead their cases, I guess, and they come back out onto the stage. And what I do like is the bottom three were allowed to change into lip sync outfits. Did they do this
Yes, I thought that
last?
was very nice.
Did they do this last season? I
I
don't
don't
remember
think
them.
so. I don't think they
Yeah.
did, as far as I remember. Yeah.
And I do love that Paolo is giving executive slut realness. Like
Insane.
she's
Absolutely
giving
insane.
insane. Um, and then Evan, who does Saltina save? And were you surprised?
For me, it's the thing where when she decides to save Hazel, no, I'm not surprised. She had the best look out of the three, if I'm being real. So, like, at the very least, there's that going for it. But I mean, it's not looking great either way. I have a feeling we're probably going to see Hazel near the bottom again. I will be very surprised if anything else happens. That's just me. But yeah, it is now down to Sammy and Paolo, and they're going to do a very interesting choice for a lip sync song, I must say, Greg. They're going to do Raise a Little Hell by Trooper. which is a little bit more of a kind of a, or a little bit of a standard
A
80s rock
rocker.
song. Yeah. What did you think of
Uh,
this?
I think we're running out of good Canadian lip sync songs, to be honest.
Avril
Oh,
Lavigne
I
only
do.
has so much of her discography to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say though, just quickly want to add, I would not put it past Saltina that she didn't save Sammy because she knows Sammy's competition.
hmm
Uh, and just on the potential chance that Paolo might shock and blow her out of the water with the lip sync, because they had never seen Paolo lip sync, and if she had put Hazel in the bottom, she knew Hazel would probably win the lip sync. But this could be more interesting. But you're probably right; it was probably based on her thoughts about the runway.
hmm
Uh, I did write this was a terrible choice for any episode. This song, like it was
hmm
just not great.
Raise
But
the hell.
I actually thought, considering Paolo admits in her videos she's done, this is like the second or third time she's ever lip synced in any
Right.
performance ever. I thought she was quite good. I thought
Yeah.
she did not embarrass herself in any way. I thought she could easily go perform in any bar and like lip sync a song and entertain people. But the best part, and it was clear, like, okay, Sammy is the more professional, like the more experienced. She's probably going to win this. It was closer than people would have thought. But I did think Paolo's smart. Like when she turned at the end and she lifted her ass and it said, keep me. I mean, she just knows how to be iconic without it feeling desperate and
Belabored. Yeah.
belabored. Yes. And that is hard to do. We've
hmm
seen so many desperate queens try to do fun, like iconic stuff, and it on so many franchises, and it just like blow back in their faces. And
hmm
she pulled it off. Yeah, I thought that was great.
It's
I
the
actually
thing, like for
wrote
me. Oh, go ahead.
I actually wrote screw Saltina for not pitting Sammy and Hazel versus each other.
It was the one thing where at some point in the edit they caught Paolo down on the floor writhing, and I could tell that she was a little bit watermeloning the words a little bit. So I think for me,
Oh,
when I like there were other parts where she was locked in, especially during the chorus, but there's I think maybe during some of the verses she may have tried to hide that she didn't know some of those exact things. So
yeah,
I think that's kind of it may have ultimately led to her undoing, but for the most part, I still thought it went pretty well for the
it did.
generally. So yeah.
Yeah. And we find out that Sami Landri, you are safe to slay another day, and
Mhm.
Paolo, you are the pork chop queen of what is this season six? Canada's Drag Race, season six. Um, and she says, just quite simply, well, you win some, you lose some, and walks away.
Incredible, genuinely. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was well done.
And when she's in the back of the workroom writing her message, she's like, I've got some empty suitcases and I'm gonna rob some of these queens.
I, did you see the video I sent you of page 3 from UK?
Yes, so
Yeah, where
good.
it's like, sorry everybody, I am obsessed with the way that she slams her baby doll down when she hits the workroom mirror. Just this whole, when she just like it was just so incredible. Like, it's the thing where it's like I don't know if the producers fully understood what they
No,
had on their hands with Paolo.
nope.
And it's the kind of thing where it does give me a little bit of heart because, like, much like Vanjie or someone else like that, I think we're gonna see her back. It would be insane because we've had like when you have your Just Mays of the
Hmm.
world, when you have Justice for Halal Bay. I love Halal Bay, but I'm sorry, I don't think they're gonna come back on another season. But come on, the television, the entertainment power of Paolo is just unparalleled. Like I really went in as a hater, and I don't even think that she's necessarily great at drag. At the same time, it doesn't matter. She knows how to be entertaining, and she will have a long career because of that. So just have her show up on one Corey King cameo, and we're set for life. Like I'm ready for it.
I have to be honest, I don't even want her to come back on Canada. I want her
Oh,
to do I want her to US All Stars. Like I
oh,
want her to be on a 3 episode commitment because they're in theory they're
uh-huh,
gonna do one more of like
uh-huh.
this bracket thing.
Bracket.
Um, because she'll never make it to the merge,
Right.
but she'll be amazing and entertaining for three
Absolutely.
episodes.
I
And
need it. I need it.
You know that Rue and Michelle will be like, this girl is wild. Like she is the Canadian. Someone said this, and I sort of agree. They're different eras, but she is sort of the Nicole Page Brooks of Canada. Like, not as good at
She's the
drag.
Nyong Bella of Canada. She just
Yes,
can't
she's
stop
the
being
young Bella.
iconic. She's
Oh
just
my gosh, can
exactly,
you
yeah.
imagine young Bella and Paolo in a road trip movie?
I don't even know how that would happen, but I'd probably enjoy it more than the Drag Race movie
This
starring
this
Ginger.
is the wow. This is the wow content we need. We just need
Exactly.
one camera person. They can shoot it on an iPhone.
It'll be
Keep
great.
them driving from Toronto to Los Angeles. That's a cheap budget. They'll stay in
Many
Motel Sixes.
misadventures along the way. Oh,
Yes,
oh look,
we.
they're in Tennessee. They get to see
Oh,
Cameron
yeah.
Michaels. You know, who
Yeah.
knows
Well, I think
exactly.
Cameron's in Vegas, but they don't need to. We don't need them against a green screen. We need them
Right.
like out in the world. This is the reboot of We're Here with
Yeah.
Neon Bella and Paolo. This is what we need.
Listen,
I'm
you
all
heard it
for
here
it.
first. You heard it here always. With that said, Gregory, we do need to ask the question. Now that we've seen what we've seen, who is going to win Canada's Drag Race Season 6?
Well, I'm going to answer this, and then I have a follow-up comment about next week's episode that we have to talk about. But I have no idea. I
Hmm.
actually, this season is confounding in the best way possible. I don't really
Hmm.
feel like there's any real front runners in my view. I don't think Saltina can win. She has
Hmm.
not shown enough charisma to me to win or sort of winner energy. It would be a shock if she did. Van Goth is giving villain at it. I don't know how Van
Hmm.
Goth can win. Ebony seems all over the place. Kara Milk should be on a pedestal, and I feel like she's being ignored, but she also like
Hmm.
was not great this episode either. Hazel ain't winning. Sami Landri would be the most inspired winner they've ever had. I would love it. Velma Jones, my concern is her English isn't good enough, and that she's
Yeah.
going to stumble in some screening, in some just because
Snatch
of
game style
Snatch Game
thing
or
or whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I Dulce ain't winning. Her runways aren't elevated enough. Who am I missing? Who could win this season?
PM. PM could be our
PM.
wackadoo, dark
PM could
horse,
be.
insane winner. Yeah, who knows? Yeah,
That
exactly.
would be along with Sami. That would be one of the most inspired winners that they've had. That would be.
Yeah.
I would not disagree with it. That would be a wild winner, and also would be our first facial hair sort of queen winner that we have
Yeah.
for any season outside at all. We've never had
We
a
love you,
winner.
Denobola. We love you.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Um.
You had a follow up though? Yes.
Yes. Did you watch the preview for next week?
I don't know how they're gonna pull that off.
In 49 minutes. I don't know how they're, or in 50 minutes. I don't know how they're going to do it either. So
Y'all,
next week's episode is they queens can pick between doing a design challenge or doing the snatch game. It's unclear how they get to decide how they're picking, but more intriguingly, it's a wonderful occasion to have Pythia and Isis come back to help them because one of them won snatch game and the other one won design
the
challenges.
design challenge. Yeah.
Or actually, I think Isis won both. But super curious. And Isis is our guest judge, but Pythia, I guess, isn't. And I sort of feel
I
bad
don't know.
for our global all-star. What did you think of that? Like, I'm so intrigued.
I have no idea how this. I just again, it's the thing where give credit to Canadian producers for,
Yeah,
as always, wanting to push the boundaries of what the format of the show is. This is absolutely pushing it. I think they learned after Canada versus the World Season 2 when they did Snatch Game the Rusical that their ambition can sometimes exceed their grasp, and that unfortunately was not it.
yeah.
But them doing this or splitting it up halfway through, I imagine like maybe the week following they have to swap back and do the other. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm super
Yeah.
freaking curious, and I'm excited. It adds that little bit of menage or whatever into it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
We will definitely see what happens. But Evan, again, this was super entertaining, even if I personally disagreed with the judges. And this
Hmm.
season is giving it's memorable and
Yeah.
we will not forget it no matter what, and not in a negative way yet. And that's what's exciting to me. So I'm super curious what's coming down the road.
Absolutely. I am of the same mindset. And most importantly, if you want to follow us along on our journey, make sure you're following us. And that could be on our social medias. That could include our Instagram and our Blue Sky. This include on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music, wherever you're getting your podcast. In fact, leave us a review, leave us a comment. Those things like that actually go a long way towards getting the show's visibility up there. I'm not sure if you saw the Meet the Queens for Canada's Drag Race. The Queens are here. They're in the comment sections. They see what you have to say. So make sure you voice yourself as well. And most importantly, catch us as we just barely covered the UK season 7 finale. Catch us as in next week we will be covering the finale of España as well. Might be a little bit day later than we would normally do, but we will always be here to cover it. And we have season 18 of US right around the corner. It's all happening. And most importantly, thank all of you for listening, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.